today, crossing the channel through the Eurotúnel shuttles is just like taking a car on the motorway. There are no controls, there are no customs. It's a 35-minute journey from one side to the other. For a truck rolling down the motorway, the M20, they come into here, and in fact they go across the channel faster than they drive on the motorway. They drive at 70 miles an hour on an English motorway, and they go through the Channel Tunnel at 90 miles an hour. So it's actually quicker to use our train. Frictionless as possible means don't stop the traffic. If you imagine stopping all of the traffic on the main motorway in any country and asking questions and exchanging papers, you would cause a traffic jam. So here the principle is to keep everything moving. Where we are today, we carry 1.7 million trucks every year. That's up to 3,500 trucks per day in each direction. We carry up to 14,000 cars per day in each direction, 2.6 million cars per year, and also coaches, motorcycles, caravans, camping vans, so a full range of vehicles. So we have a check-in, then we have a passport exit check, and then the truck is through. And we're aiming for a sort of transaction time of around 20 to 30 seconds with every stop. So the traffic keeps flowing all of the time. And then once the truck is through this area, it goes through into the next phase, which is the security and the customs document control. So we serve as part of a logistics chain, which is much more than just going from the UK to France. After Brexit, there will be a need for customs information to be swapped with the authorities. So we've built this new facility, these 8 lanes here with the barriers, to be able to conduct 2 things. One is the security checks we always do before the truck goes into the tunnel anyway, and that's looking to make sure that it doesn't have any damage to the superstructure, that the curtain sides are properly closed, that the fuel reservoir has got a cap on it, the refrigerator motor is working properly, all things that we do anyway. But at the same time now, we will be asking the driver for their customs documents, so their MRN, which will have a barcode on it, and we'll scan that document, and that information will be then sent to the customs authorities in France. We'll also be checking with them whether they're running an empty truck or whether they are carrying fish, seafood, fruit, vegetables, meat, agricultural produce, because each of those has a different control requirement on arriving in the EU. So what we're doing is gathering the information here, sending it up to the French authorities so that they can decide whether they need to control that truck physically or whether the online controls they do during the journey are sufficient, and then when the truck arrives in France, it just gets green lines to the motorway directly. So today we don't know what's inside the truck. It's not our business to know. We're just in the business of carrying vehicles. In the future, the customs authorities will require information on what's inside every truck. But doing it that way, using electronic data capture, means that we don't have to stop the trucks for any period of time. And then the control of the contents can be done during the journey while the truck's still moving. And if it needs to be intercepted, then the customs officials in France will be able to do that. They have a facility to take them to the side. Orange route to the side for control, green route straight to the motorway. Each shuttle is 800 metres, so the platforms are a kilometre long. So there's a lot of traffic all the time. No, the drivers stay in the same train, but just carried together. Could be 30 or 40 drivers on one trip, and then if there's an emergency or if we need to, if there's any problem with the train, we've got them all in the same place. We don't have to go looking for them. So far we are in the region of 15-16 million euros, and that's gone into building new space, putting up buildings to accommodate the customs officers, systems and staff training. So that's the start-up cost of Brexit, if you like, to make sure we have as frictionless as possible. And we started to build from there. Our goal was to make sure our system would run as it does today, no impact. Then all of that's possible using technology. And you can match all of that to the trucks using technology with cameras to look at registration plates. So we've been developing that kind of approach to make sure that we can gather all the information that's needed for controls in advance of the trucks arriving here, and then we pass that information to the authorities. They conduct the controls whilst the vehicles are crossing the channel. There's always been a passport control at the border. It's very quick, and your passport, quick scan, and then the passport comes back. Coming back into the UK, there's a full passport control. Again, it's a very quick process. But passenger customers are used to that. So it's the same in an airport, it's the same any travel you do in and out of the UK, there's always passport control. So that doesn't change either. So on the passenger side, things are just as smooth as they are today. We're ready for Brexit. If there's no deal and trucks turn up here with the right documentation, they'll go through just as they do today.